welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to discuss how to compute the income from capital gain. So first of all we are going to study the important terms which are used in case of capital gain. First of all we are going to discuss the meaning of capital gain. Capital gain means any profit arising from transfer of a capital asset. It is called as the capital gain. Capital asset means it may be land, building, plant, machinery, shares, debentures, so all the etc. All these are called as a capital asset. So then the profit arising from transfer of these capital asset, it is called as the capital gain. So next we are going to discuss the types of capital assets. So actually there are two types of capital assets are there. First one long-term capital asset, another one short-term capital asset. So first of all we are going to discuss long-term capital asset. Long-term capital asset means any asset which is held by the assessee for more than 36 months immediately preceding to the date of sale, they are called as the long-term capital asset. Once again I will repeat, any capital asset which is held by the assessee for more than 36 months immediately preceding to the date of its sale, it is called as the long-term capital asset. But in case of financial asset like shares, debentures, listed securities, bonds, so they are said to be long-term capital asset when they are held by the assessee for more than 12 months immediately preceding to the date of sale. So next another one comes in case of immovable assets being land and building or both, they are said to be short-term capital asset when they are held by the assessee for more than 24 months immediately preceding to the date of sale. So it is about the meaning of long-term capital asset. So now we are going to discuss the meaning of short-term capital asset. Short-term capital asset means any capital asset which is held by the assessee for not more than 36 months immediately preceding to the date of sale, they are called as the short-term capital asset. So in case of financial asset being shares, debentures, listed securities, bonds, they are said to be short-term capital asset if they are not held for more than 12 months immediately preceding to the date of sale. So another one, in case of immovable assets being land and building or both, they are said to be short-term capital asset if they are not held for more than 24 months immediately preceding to the date of sale. So actually it is about the meaning of long-term capital asset as well as short-term capital asset. So actually the relating to the meaning of long-term capital asset as well as short-term capital asset. So 2 marks question will appear. So you must write all the detailed information relating to the meaning of those categories. So next we are going to discuss the meaning of types of capital gain. There are two types of capital gains are there. First one long-term capital gain, another one short-term capital gain. Long-term capital gain means any profit arising by transfer of a long-term capital asset, it is called as the long-term capital gain. Once again I will repeat, any profit arising from transfer of a long-term capital asset, it is called as the long-term capital gain. On the other hand, short-term capital gain means any profit arising from transfer of a short-term capital asset, it is called as the short-term capital gain. So one thing you must remember, the method of computation of long-term capital gain as well as short-term capital gain is totally different. So first of all we are going to discuss how to compute the long-term capital gain. While computing the long-term capital gain, there is a particular procedure is there. So then we must follow that procedure for computation of a long-term capital gain. So the long-term capital gain is computed as under. First of all we must take sale proceeds of long-term capital asset First of all we must take sale proceeds of long-term capital asset. So from this we must deduct less selling expenses, selling expenses. So if we deduct selling expenses, whatever net amount comes, it is net sale proceeds. Net sale proceeds. Okay, next from this we must deduct less index cost of acquisition, index cost of acquisition. Second, index cost of improvement. Index cost of improvement. So third one, brokerage and commission. Brokerage and commission. So we must deduct this one. There we must deduct it. So it comes capital gain before exemption. Capital gain before exemption. Okay. So then it comes capital gain before exemption. So then from this amount we must deduct less exemption under section 54(2), 54(f). Okay, or you can write exemption under section 54. So then whatever final amount comes, it is taxable long term capital gain. So actually it is the procedure for calculation of a long term capital gain. So once again I will explain you. So first of all we must take sale proceeds of long term capital asset. So then from that amount, first of all we must deduct the selling expenses. So then whatever amount comes after deducting the selling expenses, it is called as the net sale proceeds. So then from this amount we must deduct index cost of acquisition. Index cost of acquisition means here whatever purchase price of that asset is there, so it will be indexed. Index means the purchase price will be converted into the purchase price of the year of the sale. So then second one, index cost of improvement. Index cost of improvement means any improvement made to that asset after 1/4/2001 they should be considered. So then brokerage and commission, it means at the time of the selling of asset, if any brokerage and commission paid by the seller, it is also deducted. So if we deduct all these from net sale proceeds, so whatever amount comes, it is called as the capital gain before exemption. So next we must deduct exemption under section 54. Exemption under section 54 means, so while computing the long term capital gain, some exemption will be given from long term capital gain. So there are different type of exemptions are there, so we are going to discuss them later on. So actually it is the procedure for calculation of a long term capital gain. So now we are going to discuss how to compute the short term capital gain. Okay. Okay, so first of of all, while computing the short-term capital gain, so first of all we must take sale proceeds of short-term capital asset sale proceeds of short-term capital asset. So from this amount we must deduct less cost of acquisition second one cost of improvement third one selling expenses So first of all we must take sale proceeds of short-term capital asset. So from that we must deduct cost of acquisition, cost of improvement, selling expenses. Cost of acquisition means whatever purchase price of that asset it is deducted. But one very important point you must remember, here the indexation facility is not available for cost of acquisition as well as cost of improvement as it applies in case of long-term capital gain, because while computing the long-term capital gain we take index cost of acquisition as well as index cost of improvement. It means cost of acquisition as well as cost of improvement they will be indexed in case of long-term capital gain, but it doesn't happen so in case of short-term capital gain. Here we must take only cost of acquisition, actual price of purchase of that asset it is taken. Next, cost of improvement, if any improvement is made to that asset after purchasing, so such improvement cost must be deducted. Along with that, then we must deduct the selling expenses. So if we deduct all these three from the sale proceeds, so whatever final amount comes itself as taxable short-term capital gain. Short-term capital gain. But one very important point you must remember, no exemption is allowed from short-term capital gain. It means exemption under section 54 is allowed. It is also called as deduction. Exemption under section 54 is allowed from long-term capital gain only, but not for short-term capital gain. So actually it is the procedure followed for computation of short-term capital gain. So in next video we are going to continue the theory. So regarding the important terms which are used in case of capital gain, that is what is the meaning of cost inflation index. So what is the meaning of index cost of acquisition, meaning of index cost of improvement, as well as how to compute the capital gain from depreciable assets, as well as the exemptions which are allowed while computing the long-term capital gain. So all those important points we are going to discuss them in the next video. Okay, thank you very much.